Have you ever thought about buying a home or placing the one that you own in a land trust? Well, for investors, it provides great anonymity as well as asset protection. And today I am going to break down what a land trust is, the pros and cons, and why you may want to consider it even if you aren't an investor. Hello again. This is Coni with Buy Without Realtors, guiding you with the knowledge and tools to confidently buy your own home on your own. And today we're going to be diving into a little bit more advanced topic, and it's land trusts. And this is something that I am very familiar with because as an investor, I would purchase homes and I would put them into a land trust. So I'm very familiar with the topic. Some of what I talk about today is going to be from my own experience, but typically a land trust is used by real estate investors. However, there are some homeowners that can benefit by putting their home into a land trust or a trust. So let's get into it. So first, let's talk about what a land trust is. And a land trust is a legal entity that holds title to your real estate. And by title, I mean that's what will show up in public record. So instead of your name showing up in public record and everybody can see, it will actually be the name of the trust that will be on public record. Now, this creates anonymity, which is why investors really like land trust, because when someone goes to the public records to find out who owns a particular property, their name will not show up and it will be the name of the trust. And I know when I was investing in real estate, one of the trust names that I used, it was called the Multnomah County Minority Affordable Housing Trust. And I named it that because who wants to sue a trust with that name? I mean, I wanted to create that anonymity, and I wanted to deter some of those attorneys from actually going after a trust that is there to help affordable housing. It was something that I had learned as an investor, and it actually worked. It was great. I never got sued. And that name actually just created that protection for me as the investor. Now, let's talk about some of the benefits of putting your home in a land trust, whether or not you're an investor or you're an actual homeowner. The first benefit is privacy and anonymity. That's why investors use it again. And what that does is your personal name stays off of public records. So if somebody goes to look at a public record, in the public records to find out who owns the property, the only name that will show up is the trust, not yours. And it would be difficult, and it's a protection for any lawsuits to come against you or, any unwanted attention. So that is one of the biggest benefits, I think, is the privacy and the anonymity. The next one is, and it's something that perhaps people don't really think about, is that if your home is in a trust, you avoid probate. And you can actually pass the home down to your heirs and avoid that probate when you pass away. Another benefit is the control and flexibility. As a trust, if you have a land trust, you are actually the beneficiary of that trust. And you can still rent it, you can sell it, you can do whatever you want to while that home is in that trust. The difference is that the actual trust holds the title to the home. So, and again, your name does not show up on public record, the trust does. but you still have control over everything. And this is where it kind of gets a little bit sticky because you do need to have a trustee that you can trust. But that's going a little bit deeper into the rabbit hole. If you'd like to know more information about that, then just make a comment down below and I'd be happy to discuss with you. Another benefit, and this is not a bad benefit. It does protect you from liens, from people coming after you to sue you personally. So if your home is in a land trust or in a trust, then it doesn't show that you're the owner of the property. So nobody can sue you or take your home. They can, sue you directly, of course, but they won't be able to take your home. So you do have that protection of your home not being under fire if someone is trying to sue you. Okay, so now, since I've talked about the benefits, I want to talk about the cons or the downside of having a land trust. One is that they are complex, and you really do need to know what you're doing and why you want to put your home in a land trust. And it will probably be best to have that set up with an attorney. And it is not something that you can do yourself. So that is probably one of the cons of a land trust, is that it will take a little bit of time because you've got to make sure that everything is recorded properly and that it's named correctly. And that you have the correct trustee in addition to naming you as the beneficiary. So it can get very complex, and having legal assistance would be beneficial for you. And another downside is that while the land trust does create that anonymity and some asset protection, it doesn't protect you fully. And again, if someone wants to sue you, then the courts may be able to get a court order and find out exactly who the beneficiaries are of your home. So land trusts are not foolproof. So that's something to keep in mind. Additionally, another downside, and a lot of people don't realize this, is that most traditional lenders do not lend to land trust. They lend to people. They lend to individuals. So if your home is in a land trust and let's say you want to refinance it, then you are going to have to take that out of the trust, put it in your name so that a loan can be lent to you, so that the mortgage will be in your name. And I, as a mobile notary, as a notary signing agent, I have closed several loans where people have had their home in a trust and they have had to take their homes out of a trust in order to refinance. But what can happen is that at the closing table, you can sign on the dotted line the mortgage in your name, and at the same time, you can put your home back into a trust. It can be simultaneous. So you cannot get a mortgage in a land trust traditionally, but you can take it out of the trust, get the loan in your name, and then simultaneously close on the loan in your name and then transfer the loan into the trust name. So on the deed, it will actually say, and the deed is the document that will be recorded. It will go back into the trust, which creates that anonymity. So should you consider a land trust? Well, I would say as an investor, why not? I mean, it creates that anonymity. If you own multiple properties, then no one can find you. And there are ways where it can go deeper and deeper and deeper, and it really is going to take quite a bit for an attorney to find out who the actual owner is of this particular property. So from an investor standpoint, I used them. I thought that it was great. But from a homeowner standpoint, I still think that it is good because, again, it avoids the probate, but it is definitely something that you should look into and do your research about. And please remember about the complexity of it and hiring an attorney to be able to set that up for you. So definitely something to think about, and it's totally up to you whether or not you think that it's a good idea for your situation. So that's it. That's a really quick look at land trust. And if you're an investor like me, or if you're a homeowner, it is something to consider, something to think about going forward. But just remember that it is a complex process, and it would be wise to obtain legal advice to assist you with this decision. And if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, you can either comment down below, or if you want to get more into detail, then go ahead and on my website, you can book a consultation with me if you have any further questions. And remember, with the right tools, a little bit of confidence, I gotta say it, you too can buy your own home using Buy Without Realtors. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.